Hey, David Wygant here, 10-minute daily reality check. Read the ingredients. Life has ingredients, read it. The other day, Eddie and I did a podcast all about sugar being the new cigarette. And my emails have been blowing up all week long. People telling me that I am right. Great, I love to be right. People telling me that sugar's not that bad. People telling me all sorts of things, that sugar at least was a man-made thing or a natural substance, and cigarettes weren't. Well, really, cigarettes are kind of grown in the ground, right? There's something called tobacco. There's something that they go through a process, so they become this addictive thing. But I got to tell you, I put a video up on Instagram the other day. I was literally doing some curls with my trainer, Eddie, who you guys know, Eddie Palmer, eddiepalmer12@gmail.com. He's not here, but I'm going to promote him. I was doing some stuff, and I said, Eddie, just take a video of this. I had my shirt off. I was working out. And I said, there's no different now between the way you look at me at 55 than if you did when I was 45, and if you did when I was 35, and if you did when I was 25. Except the biggest difference now is that I respect my body. You see, when I was 25 years old, I didn't really respect my body at all. Now, I might have been going to the gym and doing all the right things, and I would go to the gym and put the weights on and work out. And if you saw pictures of me at 25 years old, I looked like a fucking NFL football player with chicken legs. So the upper body looked like a football player. The lower body looked like, a ballerina or maybe a Ken doll. You know how Ken dolls, if you ever look at a Ken doll, they've got those like long, skinny legs. Mine were a little hairier than Ken, though. But at 25, I looked exactly, like a 25-year-old guy that was lifting weights. I never respect my internal body at all. As a matter of fact, my nickname up until about 28 was DD. You want to know what that stands for? I was either Duty Dave or Diarrhea Dave, because I constantly had a stomach ache. I was piling in shit into my body, literally pushing it out every single day. I'd smoke pot, I'd drink, I'd have a bowl of honeycomb, or 2 or 3. I'd eat ice cream. I used to go to TCBY, the country's best yogurt. That's what it was called in the 80s. And I would get the biggest thing of yogurt that I could have. I'd get milkshakes. I'd eat candy bars. I'd have gummy bears. I did all that stuff. I didn't know about inflammation or what saturated fats do or what processed sugars does to your body and how they've been linked to Alzheimer's and other things. Forget about just heart disease, cholesterol, diabetes too, all the stuff. I was never a read the ingredients kind of guy. I was just, let's just go put it in my body. Cheese nonstop. I could care less if it was organic or not. It was the 80s, man. There was no organics. It was just a party in my tummy, man. Kind of like if you've seen Yo Gabba Gabba, there's a party in my tummy. I'm not going to sing the song for you right now, but for those of you who had kids, you know what Yo Gabba Gabba is. I would just pour it in and pour it in and pour it in and pour it in. And I constantly had stomach aches. If I went 3 days without a stomach ache, it was a world record. I owned stock in Charmin and Pepto-Bismol and Mylanta. I was ripping my system apart. And then I finally moved to Colorado. I met the airy fairies of Boulder for the very, very first time, went to a nutritionist, and I found out that the saturated fats and the sugar intake that I was doing was actually killing me inside. All the wheat flour, the pastas, and the butter, and all the processed food I was eating was destroying my body. It was causing something called inflammation. That was the reason why my nickname was DD. So for the last 20 years, I've been getting into health more and more. I'm kind of a freak about it. But I got to tell you something. I have no sugar cravings. I have no interest in processed sugars whatsoever. They do nothing for me, because I know they don't do good things for me, and there's other things to substitute. I'd rather have a date than a Snickers bar. I'd rather have a sugar stick called a banana than sit there and have a donut. Do donuts taste good? Absolutely. But you see, I respect my body. I love and honor my body. I believe in health. You see, if I can prevent health issues from coming in the future by really changing my diet and not eating the stuff that's proven to cause cancer in lab animals, go ahead. Don't just take my word for it on the 10-minute daily reality check. Go run some fucking research yourself and take a look at what processed sugars do to lab rats and the cancers they cause. Cancer's at an all-time high in this country. People are getting cancer, can't even say that word, getting cancer on a regular basis. It's the GMO, it's the processed food, it's the gluten, it's the starches, it's the corn the size of a fucking Shaquille O'Neal basketball player. It is all that stuff. It's the sugars that we put in our coffee. Hello, Starbucks. It's the milk that are made from cows that are absolutely oozing with disease. It's the hormones in our food. There's all this stuff that people just ignore every single day. They don't think it's important at all. But it is. Because life is about preventing. It's called preventative maintenance. The more you do to prevent the stuff going wrong, the less you'll have to deal with as you get older. And for those of you that have kids, and those of you that have a loved one, you want to be around a long time. Because as we age, our body slows down, our metabolism slows down. And the more crap we put in it, the more inflammation we get in our body. We read about all the miracle drugs like turmeric, or the herbs turmeric and other things. But I got to tell you something that I find really, really interesting. You can go put the right supplements in your body, but if you're not doing the right amount of exercise and you're not eating right, it doesn't matter. You can starve yourself all day long and pound food at 9 o'clock at night and go to sleep with a full belly and wonder why you gain weight. I have a great relationship with food. I know what doesn't work. I know I don't eat things that are going to cause issues for me in the future, like diabetes 2 and high cholesterol and heart disease and all that other stuff. I don't need to give into that craving or go to that kid's birthday party and eat that blue and red cake filled with dye just so I can get an immediate rush. I'd rather wait and go to one of my favorite smoothie places an hour later and go get something that actually tastes really good, that makes me feel good, filled with wonderful superfoods in it. I've replaced the craving for processed foods with the craving for real foods. I did it because not only do I have a daughter, but I actually love life. I never wanted to be one of those old people walking around full of diseases and having to pop the pills that you see on a Sunday or Saturday or Monday or Tuesday on TV commercials with all the side effects. It's amazing. There should be a fucking Snickers commercial with this side effect. Consuming processed white sugar with gooey chocolate and eating one of these bars can cause diabetes, heart disease, heart attacks, Alzheimer's, and a list of other things. Should put it on the side of a cereal box, all the warning labels from all the GMO that's in there. But they don't. But yet we have all these miracle drugs because what happens is we eat all this shit food, so then we need all these miracle drugs that have all these side effects to bail us out of our shitty life choices and our shitty food choices. Because that's really what we're doing. All of a sudden, you see a cholesterol drug during a football game, and the reason why somebody needs a cholesterol drug is because they didn't do enough goddamn cardio, and they ate like shit. So now, all of a sudden, they got high cholesterol, or they got diabetes 2. And now, instead of the side effects that should have been printed on the side of the Snickers bar, or on that cereal, or that pint of ice cream, or that kid's birthday cake, now we got to go pop some pill that Western medicine gives us. And now the side effects are even more dangerous than just getting diabetes 2. Now the side effects are you might have a heart attack, you might have bleeding, you might have an ulcer, you might have a brain aneurysm. You can even have a heart attack from the side effects of this, but at least your diabetes 2 will be under control because you couldn't fucking resist the Snickers bar or the blue and red cake at a child's party when you were in your 30s or 40s or 50s. That's why I eat healthy. Because I don't want to go be popping those pills that everybody else is popping. I don't want to go and have the diabetes too, and the heart disease and the cholesterol, just because I couldn't give in or I couldn't resist a craving for a food that my fucking parents addicted me to as a kid. There's so many better things to have. I look to the future because I want to be healthy in the future. I want my brain to be working. I want my body to be working. I don't want to have to pull my pants up to my chest and the only thing holding it up is my belly. I don't need to have a big belly because I got older. I don't eat crap because I'm here for the long haul. And my ego wants to look good as I age. I like looking young and lean and sexy and mean. I like the way it feels. And everybody can do that. If you go to Europe, they're not walking around with the American gut. They're all skinny. Most countries in Europe, people are thin. Most of the people are thin. Obesity is just big in the United States and Mexico and Canada and the UK. We've got the obese countries. Go to Paris, they're all skinny. And people say, well, it's because they smoke cigarettes and drink coffee all day long. Well, they also don't overeat. Yes, are there people that are overweight there? Yes. But most people don't overeat. They don't have American-sized portions. It's the American portions as well. Oh my God, I went to Oklahoma one time and got into a restaurant and I ordered this steak and this broccoli and out came a tree. And I look around and I go, what the fuck is the tree for? And she goes, it's your broccoli. I go, great. Do I need to water it? Do I need to call the gardener to shave it back? The steak was the size of the cat that I saw walking across the street. And I started thinking to myself, God, is that the cat that was across the street 10 minutes ago? Our portions are too big. Our food is overprocessed and we're addicted to sugar. Addicted to it. The choices you make now for the cravings that you can't control are going to greatly affect your health in the future. There's no cure for aging. But I got to tell you something. If you're like me and you want to be around and live and have a long life, then I strongly suggest you resist the cravings now and replace it with things that are better for you. And get your ass to the gym. Go do some cardio. Get your heart rate up. Your body doesn't have to be perfect. There is no perfect body. But make your body the most perfect version for you. So you're around as you get older. Because people don't think about the health issues from the decisions they're making now. I don't want to have health issues in my 70s and 80s. I want to be a kick-ass motherfucker like Clint Eastwood. I want to enjoy my life. And I want to be healthy doing it. All right. 10-minute daily reality check out for this Friday. Spread it around, pass it around. Hopefully this episode will get as much controversy as the one we did the other day. I will see you tomorrow on Saturday. Next week, coming live from Montauk.